Okay, so today I'm here with Jacob Shannassy, who has an exhibition on at Social Gallery, which is part of the Salamanca Arts Centre. So welcome.
Hello. This is very exciting.
And I'm just going to go through a few questions with you. The first one is, tell me about what you do.
Well, what do? I am an artist, a painter and a drawer, and I have been doing that for quite a while now. I just graduated my honours last year, and it's great fun.
So Jacob, tell me about what influences you.
Of course. So a massive influence for me, especially in my art career, is the artist and painter James Gleeson. He has been renowned as Australia's, father of surrealism, especially in painting. I studied him prolifically during honours, and that was really, really, really good. Hi guys. And just the way he uses paint, and I think the way he also paints on large scale, there's just something that really draws you in, and especially considering he talks a lot about dreams and the subconscious and the human condition and how that grittiness of that, and that is, I think, just what really drew me in. And yeah, it's just...
So is painting large scale something that appeals to you?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, it's about encompassing something much bigger than myself in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it sounds a bit silly. But I think something that transcends the size of the human body. There's just something that is really otherworldly, but also I think because I talk a lot about the subconscious as well, it really represents to me that idea of the subconscious and the imagination being this endless void that as we're living, we're just continuously filling it up, and tapping into that is really fun. And I think having large scale really brings that realm, that sort of like inner world, across that threshold into reality, and I think there's a really good tension in that, and it's so much fun being able to just move across the canvas. It's great. So,
did you find that you were getting inspired at an early age growing up?
Yeah, 100%. I was always lucky enough to have access to creative ways of making. My parents were really good at encouraging that, and that really helped me. I used that a lot as a kid to understand things and understand the world around me, and I think that just stuck. And I think I've always been a very visual and creative and imaginative person. And now being able to do that is just now as work and as what I want to do with my life. It's great fun.
Do you think Tasmania has influenced your art and how you look at art and colour and...
100%. I used to be really into the wilderness down here. I think what comes into my work is, especially when moving down here at a young age, that feeling and of like wariness and curiousness as a child when traversing and discovering new things and places, allowed for my imagination to fill in the gaps, and I think that's where it all solidified.
Amazing.
So yeah, yes.
So describe your typical day as an artist.
Of course. So usually it starts with, well, first of all, waking up, of course. And I really enjoy, I think what really gets me ready and set for the day is I usually just get up, go, pack my journals, my pencils, my laptop, and I'll go out to my local coffee cafe cafe and have a coffee and just, I think, just kind of draw, maybe write down some notes. Sometimes I'm looking on my laptop, I'm looking at other artists or looking at things or that might help me.
So a nice slow start to the day, inspired by a bit of caffeine?
Yeah, inspired by a bit of caffeine, definitely. That's always great. Maybe 2 coffees in the morning sometimes, but maybe 3 if I'm feeling a little bit cheeky. And then usually I just kind of wander around, go home, maybe do more journaling, maybe read a little bit as well, and then I think sort of preparing myself by doing those really casual things and writing down just like my first thoughts or ideas of the day.
It kind of gets you into a good mindset.
Just gets me, it gets me into a good mindset, and it's like almost, a way to just sort of remember that, it's okay. I still know what I'm doing. I can still keep doing what I'm doing, and then I just go to the studio, get into it, start painting. Sometimes I'm just sitting there and looking at the work. Or I'm just sitting, again, maybe drinking a cup of tea or a coffee in the studio, and then maybe doing exactly what I did, at the cafe, but my work in progresses are like in the periphery, so I'm just kind of absorbing.
So do you feel like, even though every day starts off in a similar way at a cafe and thinking about what you're going to do you feel like each day can be quite different in terms of painting and the progress you make on a painting?
100%. There'll definitely be days where I will be in the studio all day and I maybe have only picked up a paintbrush once or twice. And then sometimes I'm in there for 2 hours and I'm like non-stop painting.
How do you know when to stop for the day?
I think when I'm really unsure on what to do next to a work.
So you feel like it's good to sleep on it and
sometimes, which is a bit frustrating because when you have deadlines, I feel like a lot of artists say it's just a feeling, but it's kind of annoying because it is, and it's when I think I know when to stop because I will, I guess, sort of subconsciously slow down and I'm thinking a lot more about what I'm doing, and when I'm thinking too much about what I need to do next, that's when I go, okay, I'm starting to overthink it.
Sure.
So that's usually when I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the paintbrush down. Maybe I'll clean the brushes instead.
Yeah. And then what would you do typically? Go and hang with your flatmate or spend some time with friends?
Yeah, probably. Or might just go home and just like chuck on a funny TV show and just maybe have a cheeky glass of wine.
Very nice.
Or I just go home and do more journaling or reading and just relax. I think the important thing is, and one thing is to slow down and just be like, hey, it's okay to just. You can't always force the creativity, and sometimes when you do, it can cause messes. And that's definitely happened to me a lot. So I think that's when I know when to stop, is when I'm thinking a little bit too much about it.
I feel like after talking to a few artists, a lot of artists are always working, at least in their mind, even if they're not putting a paintbrush on the canvas.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, sometimes. And honestly, sometimes it's really good to just be away from the work for a while and thinking about it. It's because it's refreshing. I also find sometimes that I will do that, and then I'll be thinking about the work so much, and then all of a sudden I just kind of make up in my head like this new vision of it, and then I go and I get really disappointed when I see it again, and I'm like, But then it's good because it just helps me see it from a different perspective, and yeah, it's good to just slow
Step
down
away.
and stay away sometimes.
So we've talked about influences and we've talked about how you spend your day.
Yep.
So maybe tell me this time about what sort of things bring you joy.
Well, definitely, I really do like gardening. I think that's another way to let my imagination and creativity sort of exist outside of my arts practice as well. So I'm always, in a way, I guess, practicing that. Thanks, guys. And yeah, that's like another way to, I guess, express myself and express that creativity. So I always find joy in those kinds of things, getting outside, enjoying the sun.
So nature, spending time in nature?
Yeah, definitely. And just, again, slowing down and just sort of touching base with reality. Again, after, being so absorbed in what I'm making. Because it can be quite taxing on the brain and emotions, because, you're sitting with yourself for a really long time when you're making. And sometimes that's like, I just need a break from myself.
Yeah, of course.
From getting inside my own head. So I do that a lot. And I just think actually being able to use my brain creatively outside of my arts practice is joyful.
Something that helps.
Yeah, it's just something that helps.
Okay, so Jacob, tell me about collaboration, who you like collaborating with, and how you feel that's important for your practice.
So, I haven't directly collaborated with anyone really yet, and it is something that I would like to do. I've always loved the idea of collaborating with other painters and working on a painting together. That would be lots of fun. But I think collaboration also falls into, like, for example, being at uni for the last 4 or 5 years, you're working very closely with friends and you're making new friends, and you are supporting each other and critiquing each other's work, in a good way, and helping each other out, on how to progress with work and practice, and whether that's got to do with the work itself or writing or talking about the work as well. And I think collaborating in that way is really, really essential, especially when you're studying at uni, and especially when you're an emerging artist. I think it's super, super essential, and it's something that is really good to keep going with and keep doing. So
you found it important to stay in touch with fellow artists?
100%, yeah. And
did you find it difficult initially after you finished?
Definitely, it is.
So tell me about one of your proudest moments.
That's a tough one, actually, because I don't know. As in, like, that sounds really funny. That sounds like...
I guess in relation to your art
career
so far.
I'm trying to think if I have any. Alright, I think what made me feel really proud of myself was doing, really pushing myself last year with honours, and really saying, hey, this is something that I really, really care about, and I'm going to work really, really hard. And I think that paid off, and I did really well in honours, and it was just finishing that year, sitting there thinking to myself, I really, really thought that I wouldn't be able to write the way that I was writing during honours, or talk about things in that kind of, I guess, quite sophisticated and academic way.
Sure.
And being able to pull that off was a massive achievement, and I'm really happy that I was able to do that. And I also think as well, especially with this show, I'm really I'm really happy that I was able to pull it off, and I'm proud of myself for experimenting and trying new things, and just saying, hey, you know what, if, you know, people don't like it, that's okay, because it's still art, and I did it. So yeah.
So Social Gallery is a pretty nice space.
Yep.
How did you come to have your exhibition here?
So I was very fortunate enough to win the Salamanca Arts Centre Graduate Prize last year for my honours work, my body of work for honours. So that came with a 1-month studio residency, which I did early December 2024, and supported solo exhibition in the Social Gallery space.
Amazing.
So I'm pretty lucky with that, and that's been a really nice experience. Good way to get me and my work and my practice out there.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a fledged artist from university, so yeah, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's been great, and it's a really nice small space. It's on the Salamanca Strip. Been getting plenty of people coming in, so yeah, very, very grateful.
Is exhibiting in the Salamanca Arts Precinct something you would like to do again?
Definitely. I think it's a really good way, especially for younger artists, to be able to have their work, you know, I guess, readily available and seen by people. So, yeah, it's definitely worth it. And honestly, opportunities, especially when you're young and emerging, is the idea is just to take as many opportunities as you can. Exhibit anywhere, take anything that you can that's given to you. It's really good to build up that experience and also put things on your artist's CV. So,
sure. Do you feel like there's advantages or disadvantages to being in Tasmania as opposed to being on the mainland?
I think so. I think the art scene down here is good, and I think it's a really, really good community. It's a really strong sense of community, and it's very helpful to, like, you do end up knowing lots of people, and you can get lots of opportunities down here within this space. But I do think that there could be more done to expand the arts down here, I think.
Sure.
In a way to, I guess, just bring more people in, maybe.
Of course, yeah.
But it's just what it is, and it's still a really great place to make art in.
I think part of the charm that I've noticed coming down to live in Hobart has been that I find the arts community quite welcoming and willing to accept new ideas and new artists. Do you find that as well? Yeah,
I do. I definitely do. They can be quite open, but I always think there's always room for improvement. Not improvement, but change and evolution, and
of course,
bringing more things in. But it is lovely down here, and the community is really, really great, and I think that's the most important part. So,
sure.
Definitely.
So next question, what would be your top 5 travel destinations? Whether you've been to them or whether it's somewhere you aspire to go?
I would love to make art in Paris one day. I think that would be really, really cool. I have been to Paris when I was young, about 12. And back then I didn't really know that much about art, and so I was kind of like looking at things and just not really taking it in. But now I reckon I could spend days in the museums there, and galleries there. So
was it the places you visited, or the light, or the people?
It was the places that I visited, and I think having being able to see art that you've
been exposed to a wide...
it's been exposed to, but also only really ever seen online. being able to see it in person, it completely changes it, and it's phenomenal.
As well as Paris, any other places?
I mean, I do love London. I've been to London as well, but I would love to go back. I think New York would also be really, really fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots and lots of fun.
Lots of energy.
Lots of energy. Good art.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other places.
Do you feel you might be attracted to New York because it's a place that can potentially showcase more contemporary work?
Definitely, and definitely more contemporary painting as well. I think obviously anywhere has the potential to be able to show those kinds of things, but it is great just to I don't know, I think just experience art in a different place and be an artist in a different place.
Do you feel like your art leans in that direction, a more contemporary?
I think so, and I think that's also what this show's lent towards as well. Is I'm really trying to push myself into a different space, and thinking about different things. So things that are a little less, trying not to be too contrived, I guess, and just see what happens and have fun.
If money was no object, where would you fly to tomorrow?
Oh, probably Paris.
Yeah.
Or New York. Or London. All the places I just said. Or if I really wanted to go on a nice holiday, I'd go somewhere warm. I reckon, just to treat myself, you know. And Italy. I'd like to go to Italy too.
Italy.
But the Italy countryside, I reckon. That would be fun.
Yeah. Amazing light. And what advice would you give to yourself, your younger self, if you could, even though you're 24?
I would say, I guess in terms of my arts practice, is honestly just to slow down. There's so much time. Slow down and make sure you experiment and
experiment with different mediums.
Just don't pressure yourself to make things too perfect, because then I think that makes the work. I think it just struggles to. I think it would make you made me struggle to evolve.
Of course.
And then that made me panic, and then I'd try and do things faster and keep going and pushing myself, but then it's like I've actually got to take time and just slow down and go, hey, I've got time, and the art is a lifetime thing. It's a lifetime career.
Sure.
And it's something that will always be evolving. So slowing down is definitely one of the big things.
So I guess this kind of relates to the next question. What advice would you... Oh, sorry, no, wrong question. How do you balance work, life and family?
We'll just sort of... I guess we're quite lucky because we live in Tasmania, so we're all pretty close together. But you know, I mean, I work part-time, and that's good having that as a schedule. And of course, always schedule family dinners, and we always, you know, I think because for me, I'm very close with my family, and we always just find time to, in between everything, to just have fun and spend time together. And I think just really being spontaneous and going with the flow. I guess that sounds pretty generic, I guess, but it's true.
Did your mum and dad support young Jacob growing up?
100%, and I think having them support me as well is also just a good way to be with your family and spend time with your family. So, it's great. So,
and final question, what is next for you?
Well, I've got a show in October. I need to start finalising that actually.
Whereabouts is your show?
That's at Good Grief Studios, which is an ARI, which stands for Artist Run Initiative.
That's in Hobart.
That's in Hobart, up on Argyle Street. So I'll be doing that, and there's a couple of residencies that I'm wanting to apply for, and I think honestly this year and going into next year, I will be applying for shows as well, just to keep going. But for me, it is just keep practicing, keep.
If someone was to
myself.
approach you, sorry to cut.
No, that's all
didn't mean to
right.
cut
That's
you off.
fine.
If someone was to approach you from the mainland about potentially having an exhibition there, would that be something?
Oh yeah,
interested in?
100%. Definitely. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any favourite galleries in Sydney, Melbourne?
I do. I really like Neon Park in Melbourne. And what was that?
It's alright, I'll edit that out.
What was that?
The batteries.
Oh, okay. Neon Park in Melbourne, I think that's a really cool space. I also love Sullivan Strumpf and Rosslyn Oxley 9. Station Gallery is also really, really nice as well. All the big ones, really. Those guys.
Yeah.
I really like those spaces. I've never been to them, and my plan is to take myself a little holiday and do that.
Yeah.
But
do you
definitely
feel like travel will be something in your future?
Oh, 100%, definitely.
Yeah, through residencies.
Through residencies, which I guess is useful as well. But got to apply for them and see how I go, and just keep going.
And
have different experiences.
For people that are interested in your artwork, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Probably my Instagram or my email. And my Instagram is just my name, Jacob, and then .OSHAN. Okay. So Jacob.Oshan, first few letters of my last name.
Excellent.
And
I'll put all your details.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll spell out my email, but that might take a bit long. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the best way, and yeah.
Well,
So
thanks so much for all your time.
That's right.
Congratulations on the exhibition.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with Jacob,
Yes.
definitely
Please
take advantage
do.
of that.
Please.
And
I would love to have a chat.
great talking to you.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Really good. Cheers.